The UEFA Women's Champions League final is set. We have an advancement of Arsenal and Barcelona set for the final May 24th. It's taking place in Lisbon. But how the heck did we get here? It was leg 2 action that was insanity. The score lines had Barcelona defeating Chelsea 4-1 in leg 2. That was 8-2 on aggregate. Holy cow, Barcelona showed out. And meanwhile, for Arsenal, they defeated Lyon in leg 2 4-1. So that was 5-3 on aggregate. Jen, you were at both of these games, leg 1 and leg 2 for Arsenal against Lyon. You were on the call for them. It set the scene for us. Like, you were in Lyon for this leg 2. How the heck did Arsenal pull off this insane comeback?
It was unbelievable. Honestly, it felt like the perfect game for Arsenal. Everything went to plan. They executed it tactically exactly how they would have wanted it to go. I honestly think, though, we spoke about this on A3. If you had just looked at the history of Lyon, of course they were the favourites. But based off the first leg, Arsenal had chances. This game, they executed it perfectly. I will say as well, Lyon made some really uncharacteristic mistakes. They played De Mornay in midfield. Hegerberg was in the starting lineup, which was, not the normal that we've seen from Lyon. But Arsenal took advantage of every chance they got. They started fast. Even the second half, they came out flying again. Just when you think Lyon might do something different to come back into the tie, no, they went 3-0 up. So it was the perfect night for Arsenal, and what a night to go. Make their first final after 18 years is just an unbelievable moment for the club. And I, for one, felt incredibly lucky to get down pitch side and be able to give Kim Little her Player of the Match award. It was just an awesome, awesome day. And I'm so proud of everyone involved for what they've done to kind of beat the French giants, right? Because what a team they are. And you're looking at the list of players that this Lyon side had. Le Sommer coming off the bench, Madry coming off the bench. You're constantly looking, can they change it? What are they going to do next? But Arsenal railed it out, man. They did awesome, and it's doesn't get much bigger than Arsenal and Barcelona in the final. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I love it. You have to tip your cap to Arsenal in this one. I think there was this eerie feeling for neutrals, perhaps, that this campaign was gearing up to see a familiar final. But I love the stunner. That's what it was for me. It was an absolute stunner by Arsenal. It just looked like that they landed that perfect punch, and it just was daisy and hazy throughout the rest of the match. It was just, you saw how difficult it was for Lyon to just sort of snap out of things and be able to come back. It didn't matter that they were at home, but maybe if they had some advantage in that sense, out the window. Didn't matter. And that's the beautiful thing about Champions League.
Yesterday, Darian and Lowe talked about big 5 moments in games, whether it's the first 5 minutes after the kickoff, after the halftime, or after a goal is scored. And for Arsenal in this game against Lyon, it was big 5 moments that constantly set the tone, changed the momentum in the Gunners' way, because they scored in the opening 5, forcing an own goal. And then right before and right after halftime, they get another 2. It was like a 1-2 punch for Lyon heading into the break and then coming out of the halftime as well. The game plan for Arsenal, I don't think I've ever seen a team execute their plan so effectively, so efficiently as well, and really without any hiccups in watching this. And I think it's always twofold, right? When you have to look at both sides and both teams, because Lyon played pretty poorly as well. I think they came out really flat-footed. Their game plan was not executed as well. They also had a lot of individual mistakes that mentally you can kind of get caught up and tripped up in your head. And to concede an own goal in the opening 5 minutes of a leg 2 match, when you only have a 1-goal advantage coming into this game, and then 5 minutes in, it's tied up again on aggregate, that mentally it is so deflating. And for Arsenal, it lifted them up. It had them take on another level and another step in this game.
I think off the back of that as well, Lisa, talking about the 5 minutes, at halftime, my whole conversation was, right, what will Lyon do differently? Because they have to change something. They didn't make substitutions. They didn't really change anything tactically, and then they go another goal down. I was waiting for that. What are they going to change? What are they going to do? Because even sat there with Arsenal being ahead, I'm always looking at, right, you got Samara on the bench, Madri on the bench, Van de Donk, who I personally think should have started. She did so well in the first leg in terms of the press in the midfield. And I'm thinking, right, what are they going to change? And I think the changes came late, but you're spot on. That there was opening 5 minutes, and then right after halftime, those key moments in the game, Arsenal took advantage of every mistake that Lyon made.
In previewing this game, Jen, you talked a lot about how, I mean, you were at leg one, and you talked about how leg two is so different. And there are vast differences between playing a leg one and a leg two. It's against the same opponent. One is home, one is away. And Arsenal had fallen now in leg one of both the quarterfinals and the semifinals. So we knew against Real Madrid that they had it in them to come back in leg two of this game. But watching this game unfold in front of you, what was the biggest difference that you saw from Arsenal Lyon from leg one to leg two?
I think they just didn't chase the game. I think that the worst thing that Arsenal could have done was go all out from minute one. They took their moments well in the right times. They knew when to press, and they knew when to sit off and just allow Lyon to have little bits of spells of possession, and they understood that you can't go against Lyon because you'll be hitting the counter when you've got Chawinga, Diani up ready to go on the other end and sort of counterattack you and really hurt you. So I think for me, they were spot on with the moments that they picked and when the advantage was there. And they were clinical. I said it before, there was 4 shots on target for each team in the first leg. The difference was Lyon took the chances. The difference in this game, Arsenal smashed it into the back of the net every single time there was an opportunity, and they just looked so confident. I feel like there was a massive belief that they could go and do it. I think at home you're a little bit hesitant. You know it's over 2 legs. You're careful or a little bit more thought out. I feel like they had discipline. They were mentally engaged for 90 minutes, and it was really awesome to see.
Every time Arsenal leveled up in this game and they won a tackle or they went in a little harder, they looked like they wanted it a little bit more. And every time Arsenal took a step forward, it looked like Lyon took a step back. And it was very, very, very uncharacteristic of this Lyon side, right? It's not very often that we see them, Diani, Dumornay, Chawinga, Hedgeberg, Horan, or Lindsay Heaps, not influencing the game every time they're on the ball. And they really weren't. They were stifled defensively. And I think like a lot of the individual mistakes that came down to some of the weak points in this game for Lyon is what mentally hurt them, that allowed them to not even be able to climb back. Because at halftime, you're exactly right. I wanted changes. I wanted to just see a little bit more gumption from Lyon in that second half. And we didn't get it by any means. So Arsenal take down the Giants. They advance to a final for the first time since 2007 when they won. And Kim Little, you gave her, Jen, the man of the match, the player of the match trophy after this game. She's been with Arsenal for so long, and now she gets to make it to a final. I got to see some interviews and some chat with her, but what did she say to you in talking about like how big this moment is for her?
You know what? That's such a good question, because even Kim by nature is a quiet person, but I've never seen her that quiet after a game. I think she was just so, I guess, enamored by the whole occasion. She's worked her entire life for big moments like this, and she's actually signed the year after that Arsenal won it. So to give that context, it's been 18 years since that final, since they won it. She signed the year after. So this is, of course, she's gone out and played in NWSL and Melbourne and, gained experience, but she has been unbelievably loyal to Arsenal. She's captained the team for so long. I think she was just blown away by the fact that, and again, being Scottish, we haven't made many major tournaments. So domestic club level is kind of really high level, as good as it's gonna get. So to get to a Champions League final for her, having been knocked out so many times at semi-final level, was just a huge moment. And as a mate, as she's one of my best friends off the pitch, I've known her since I was 15. and I've never seen her so quietly happy. She was almost so emotional about the whole thing. And I think anyone who knows Kim, she's a very together person. She's very calm and collected. So to see her in that moment and be able to give her a player of the match award, and bear in mind, she's 35 this summer, and she is not past her prime. Can I just say that she's, I feel like, just always in her prime. The way she just shows up at these high level games and just gives performances. I will say, Arsenal dominated that midfield, but Kim Little's at the heart of that, and she's so calm. She's the kind of person you look to on the pitch to be like, how do we solve this? What do we do now? And I think she led that team the entire way. And I think a lot of people have come out and said that as well, that they were so happy for Kim in those moments. But she was emotional, and I hope she doesn't mind me saying that, because she's normally about very well together person. And it was just nice to see her enjoy that moment, and I was so proud of her as a best friend.
Oh yeah, I mean, she ran that midfield. She ran this game. It ran through her. Oh, that's an awesome picture. That's an awesome picture. I didn't realize how tiny she was.
Yeah. Well, I do call her Little Kim for a reason. Like, she's Little Kim, but no. And also, I'm kind of tall, so I'm maybe making her look smaller. But no, she's awesome.
Yeah, we're showing a picture right now of Jen handing Kim the Player of the Match trophy that comes from a Champions League game, and Jen's got her arm around her. It's like big sister, little sister, kind of, in the best way. I get it. I'm tall too, Jen.
Yeah.
Big game for Kim, exciting for you. Hopefully Kim has had a couple days now to soak it in, but really it's looking ahead to this final that is set coming up on May 24th against Barcelona.